Hello, everyone. This is HBCU Game Day, and I am Symone Stanley. Today, joined by all SWAC offensive lineman J. Jackson Williams, FAMU Rattler. J. Jackson Williams, thank you so much for joining me.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So I got to start off first by asking you, FAMU competed in the FCS Playoffs this past season. What was that experience like for you and the team?
Man, it was a blessing, sitting there in the theater and being able to see our name pop up on that TV. We were all excited, and thankful for the opportunity. Unfortunately, it didn't go our way, but to be able to represent the SWAC and all the HBCUs in the playoffs for the first time in many years, it was a great opportunity.
Definitely. And especially for you as a graduate, you were in your last year on the collegiate level. How do you think playing in the playoffs really boosted your exposure for the NFL draft?
Man, I think it was a great opportunity, just to show, because they always talk about being able to play different types of opponents at different levels. So being able to get into the playoffs and play against the best of the best in front of the scouts and on TV, I really feel that helped out a lot. I feel like I did pretty well that game. And so, now it's just about preparation and looking forward to April.
Of course. So you started off on the JUCO level before transferring to FAMU. How do you, now that your collegiate experience is over, how do you feel FAMU prepared you for the NFL?
I feel like FAMU gave me the platform that I needed. Being that I was a guy that started off as a walk-on, that went junior college, that went to the Power 5 level, then bounced down to the HBCU level. Playing time was the most important thing, and being able to start 12 games, playing almost 800 snaps and play at an all-conference level, that really gave me a chance that I really didn't think I was going to have in the beginning, and I'm thankful for FAMU and everything that they've done, from the staff to the administration. They've helped me become a better man, a better football player, and I'm always going to be thankful for them.
That's amazing to hear. So how do you think you stand out amongst the other offensive linemen in the NFL draft pool? What makes J. Jackson Williams unique and special?
So when you look at it, I'm a guy who's started out in high school. I was about 6'2", I was 185 pounds, and I was a wide receiver. My second year, maybe grew 10 more pounds. I was a first team all conference wide receiver. Junior year, grew a little bit more. I became an outside linebacker and a tight end. And the story just goes, I played basically almost position besides defensive back. And so this was actually my first season starting as an offensive lineman, as a starter. And being that I have so much versatility and so much more room for growth, and I also played at such a high level at the same time, it's the sky's the limit for me, and I haven't even reached it yet. And so I have a high ceiling, I have a lot of versatility. I can play multiple spots on the line. I can play almost every spot on the line. And so seeing that, and other guys, I have NFL size, I have the hands, the arm length, the wingspan, standing at almost 6'5". And so it's exciting. I'm looking forward to it, and just seeing that where I am now, and just seeing when I started training, how much better I have gotten already. Just seeing that I haven't even gotten to the next level, which is the highest level, and I haven't even got to play my best football yet. And that's where I really feel like I stand aside everybody else.
Okay, so you just gave us the whole scouting report. Do I have any more questions to even ask? But for real, I like how you said the sky is the limit, and we haven't even seen it yet. We haven't even seen the best J. Jackson Williams. So I did see that you played tight end in high school. And I know in high school, you guys pretty much play every position. Did you have a favorite position in high school that you preferred to play over the other? Or did you always project as a lineman?
Yeah, I would say it had to be when I was playing defense. Playing defense was so much fun. But, playing offense also, when I was a tight end, I would say it was stuck between when I was outside linebacker and the tight end, because every lineman's dream is to catch the ball. And so, I had scored probably 8 or 9 touchdowns my senior year, and being able to do that, showing my coaches sometimes, during the week, like, hey, coach, like, you see me catching the ball right here, you want to throw a play in there for me or something like that, And so it's definitely something I can tell my kids when they, it's cool when I meet people now and they see how large I am. And I'm just like, yeah, I used to, you'd be a tight end, wide receiver, and they don't believe me. and stuff. So it's definitely something I'm always going to remember.
For sure. So you talked about all your strengths. What do you think is the most underrated aspect of your game, though, going into these combines, these showcases, and ultimately the NFL draft?
I think it's something I always take into consideration is that my biggest strength is the knowledge of my weaknesses, and I use them to my advantage. I've always understood where I always need to get better at. And so I use that to my advantage and understanding when I see a guy that he might have something over me, I'm like, okay, well, then I have to just block him like this. If I think he might be a little stronger than me, okay, then I have to win with leverage. If he's a little bit bigger than me, okay, I got to win with speed. It's more of a mind game of football. A lot of people think it's just straight X's and O's, but it's really like chess. You're playing a little mind game with the person in front of you before the ball snaps. It's a lot of thought process to it and a lot of reaction time. And so that's the one thing I've always harped on is I understand my strengths, but I also have a vast knowledge of my weaknesses, and I'm always going to make sure to use those to my advantage.
That's perfect. So when we talk about translating right over to the NFL level, what part of your game do you think will easily apply and transfer to the pro level? How do you think you'll be able to have an instant impact on an NFL program?
I think it most importantly come in the run game. I'm very efficient when it comes to the run, very knowledgeable of where I can't get beat, where the launch point is, where the ball is supposed to be going, getting to the next level, getting to the backers, double teams, and stuff like that. I'm also very proficient in pass. I just got to work on some things, my upper body strength, which is what I'm doing right now with my training. And so also, most importantly, with the Senior Bowls coming up, being able to show that I've made those improvements. But most importantly, I just know that just being able to be a smart football player is what I feel like is where I've really shown that what will help me the next level.
So the IQ.
Yeah.
So lineman is, whether it's defensive or offensive, are one of those positions that's very versatile. You speak on your versatility. They get moved around all the time. Where on the line do you see yourself thriving on the NFL level?
I see myself as a tackle. Personally, I've played my entire career at tackle. However, I have played guard. And so I will say that NFL team drafts me, I will do what I'm told. I will play whatever I want to play. I will play what I'm told to play because I want to do what's best capable for the team. And so I can play guard, but looking at my arm length and the 36-inch arms and the 85-inch wingspan and stuff like that, I feel like I have a better job with the edges.
Okay. So you talk about working on your strength between now and April. What's the day-to-day grind and process like for someone preparing for the combine and the draft?
It's definitely a mental and physical grind. It takes probably about 3-4 hours out of your day, and that's just the workout part of it. You have to get up every morning, you have to eat breakfast, you have to make sure you're taking vitamins and everything else that you need to take, to make sure that your body's nice and fueled, and recovery too. I have to really take care of myself, make sure I stay hydrated, and, going every day, 4 or 5 times a week for 3.5 hour workouts, and it's work at lifting and football, so it's also become more of an endurance thing as well. But it's good work, and I feel myself getting better every day.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So lastly, I have to ask you, do you have any NFL comparisons or any guys in the pros you grew up or still now look for skill sets and look and take parts of their game from?
I've always been a huge Tyron Smith fan. We're both from Reno Valley, California. He went to USC. And so I've always watched him and see how he's playing. I've got a lot of comparisons from DeMarco Jones. He was a tackle for the Seattle Seahawks for a few years. And so I like to always watch other offensive linemen in the league just to see how they block and the tendencies. Even when I'm sitting on the couch watching NFL Red Zone, everybody's, watching the play, the quarterback, where the ball's going. I'm watching the offensive line and seeing how they're blocking and stuff like that. And so guys like that, obviously everyone loves Trent Williams, Jason Kelsey, those guys, Quentin Nelson, Quentin Nelson's a guy, and so guys like Titus Howard too, who came from the HBCU level, just to go back and watch his film when he was at his HBCU, it was incredible and stuff.
Jason Kelsey, definitely one of my favorites. But you led off with Tyron Smith. You're not a Cowboys fan, are you?
I wouldn't say I have a sports team right now. You know, I've been more of like a player fan.
Okay, that's fine. So this was some great insight. I really appreciate all the knowledge you dropped. And of course, we're going to be watching out for you on this journey until April. We're going to be, of course, rooting for you. You got the FAMU League behind you. And of course, all the HBCU fans are going to be rooting you on. So we're super excited to see what's to come for you. Like you said, we haven't even seen the best yet to come.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the future.
Well, guys, I'm Symone Stanley. This is Jay Jackson Williams. We're here with HBCU Game Day. He gave us a great insight on how he is prepping for the NFL draft that will take place towards the end of April. So make sure you guys are staying tapped into HBCU Game Day, subscribe to the channel, liking our content, and letting us know what more you guys want to see coverage-wise. Thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Go Rattlers.